Hello everyone on board on my channel. Fasten your seatbelts, we are taking off. My name is Ivan, call sign Serb, and today I want to share the story of how aviation becomes a part of my life. It's my first video in English, so wish me luck please. My journey started right after high school. I had no idea who I wanted to become, but I grew up in a military family, so naturally I wanted to follow that path. My father sent me to a military flight academy. This was before the war. I passed the entrance exams and we were immediately sent to basic military training. There I met older cadets who were preparing for parachute jumps, something required before flight training. The next day they took off for a night flight and they never come back. Their engine failed on landing, and at night flying on a single engine is forbidden if the aircraft has two engines. That was the first tragedy I ever saw in aviation. When we went to search for the wreckage and the bodies, I walked and cried, really cried. I saw the last messages, how they didn't want to fly that night, how one of them had just proposed to the woman he loved. And then everything ended in one moment. The aircraft crashed right next to me. That's how my aviation path began, with a lesson about how fragile life is. Right before the academy, I had also gone through appendix. I barely recovered in time, but somehow I passed the exams and got accepted. Even so technically it was not allowed. The first year was tough. I had just been torn away from my family, everything was strict and demanding, but I pushed through. On the second year we were supposed to start flight training. But then the war began. We were sent to one of the hottest zones, and in that moment, surrounded by house, I made myself a promise. I said to my friend, to survive a war, you must have something to live for. I will have a daughter one day, and her name will be Miroslava, which means peace and glory, and you will be her good father. From that day on, we were always together, every duty, every mission. And after a few months, we were finally moved to the western part of Ukraine, where we could continue our training as a military pilot. That's where I had my first solo flight. I was happy like a child. There is no way to describe that feeling. Once you touch the sky alone, you fall in love with it forever. Later we trained on the L-39 jet. I passed all exams and we were sent to real practice. The instructors yelled at us constantly. That was the technical style. They even called me the widow's husband. But even so they said my landings were good, I realized something important. No mother gives birth to her child for war. And I understood. I don't want to be a part of a system that brings death. From that moment I tried to resign. It took a long time. They even placed me in a cell with the prisoners, so I wouldn't run away. Even so, I had done nothing wrong. But eventually I got out. And the best part, my daughter was born. I could finally leave the country, and now I'm finishing my ATPL training. When I pass my exams, I want to become a firefighting pilot. A pilot who saves lives, not takes them. That's the kind of aviation I believe in. So you will ask me, why should I need subscribe to your channel? Because I'm one of the few people who can clearly explain aviation from the technical details of how aircraft systems works to real stories from my military past. I am against any war, only kindness can defeat evil. And one day I dream of opening my own civilian flight school. So please subscribe and you don't miss the next videos. They will be truly interesting and educational. With you was the Serb warrior. Good luck to everyone. Take care and thank you for subscribing and watching.